Hey everyone, Pastor Mike here, trying to answer a bunch of questions that came in from our most recent Question and Answer Sunday. Here's a good one. Why do we study the Old Testament when the New Testament exists? My understanding is that Jesus came and died so that we can all inherit heaven, and we don't have to sacrifice animals and follow other Old Testament laws. Now that's a good question. I mean, if we could just take out the Old Testament, we wouldn't have to read about 2/3 of that long book that we call the Bible. Or Christians who make New Year's resolutions to read it cover to cover would actually complete the resolution instead of bailing during the book of Leviticus. So why do it? Well, last year I did something kind of curious with my personal Bible. I got out a blue highlighter and I read through the entire New Testament. And every time I came across something that would make no sense without the Old Testament, I highlighted it. For example, in John chapter 1, John the Baptist sees Jesus and he says, "Look, the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world." Now, if you didn't know anything about the Old Testament, about the Jewish animal sacrifices, what would that have meant? I mean, if your buddy had never read the Bible and you went over to him and said, "Jesus is the Lamb of God," what would he say? Okay? No, it's the fact that we know what that picture meant from the Old Testament that makes it such good news. And I actually learned that as I paged through the New Testament, it was hard to go a single page without an Old Testament passage or a prophecy, an allusion to the temple or to the Messiah, to Abraham or Isaac or Joseph or Jacob, to Solomon, to David. Like if you didn't get the Old Testament, it'd be almost impossible to understand the New. So that's why we do it. We don't practice all the old animal sacrifices of the Old Testament. There are some things that were just for those people back then and are not for us today. But a robust understanding of every page of the Bible helps us to understand every page of the Bible, the story of Jesus too. Thanks for that great question, and I hope you have a great day.